Hi and welcome, and thank you for joining us on Mindset Magic. This is where we share our ideas, our tips, our tools and strategies on all things mindset, emotions, and how to thrive and live life with passion and purpose. For those of you that don't know me, my name is Christy Roberts. I'm a mindset and results coach and also the founder of Creating Change. And it's my absolute pleasure to introduce my gorgeous co-hosts, Kaz Sanderman, who is a transformational coach from chaos to calm healing, and Alia Steglinsky, accredited nutritionist and personal health coach from The Personal Health Coach. So welcome, ladies. How are we today?
Awesome. Thank you.
Great. So during each episode of Mindset Magic, we turn our attention to a different topic. And this week, we're delving into procrastination and being stuck, which I'm pretty sure many of you watching will have experienced at some point in your life or may even be experiencing right now. So for those of you watching, I'm wondering if you can relate to this. You've got a really important deadline and you're doing everything except working on the deadline. So there's just not enough time in the day, there's distractions. Or it might be you'd really like to achieve a goal like getting a new job or losing weight, just getting off the couch and getting motivated, and you just don't do anything. It's like Groundhog Day, nothing changes, and you're just stuck. The months are ticking by and you just feel more helpless and stuck as time goes on. So, or maybe there's someone you care about that you can see they're stuck or see that they're really procrastinating and they're not going anywhere. So this is a really great opportunity for you to just watch the episode because we'll be sharing lots of tips, tools, ideas, strategies, and to give you some ideas of where to start. So it affects us all. And so I'd like to sort of turn to Kaz and Alia and just ask, what are some of those things or what experiences have you had with procrastination and being stuck? Like, what are your thoughts? So first I'll go to Kaz.
Okay. So I did have something planned to say, but I've just realized that most of the things that I get stuck on are things where I feel like I'm being judged. So usually I am very good with my decision making and I will choose what I want to do and I will do it. But if it comes to being judged by other people, I tend to second guess myself and sometimes I'll hold back. The biggest place I find that I am stuck and procrastinate is usually with things that are going to impact other people. So really big moments in my life. So an example of that would be when I had a franchise business that was losing money hand over fist, and I could see things going from bad to worse, and at one stage it became really clear that if I didn't do something we would probably lose our house. Not ideal. But I did this ostrich thing. I stuck my head in the sand. I'm like, it's all going to be okay, some miracle will happen and everything will be fine. And of course it wasn't. And, I was paralyzed by fear, and this fear of not being able to sell the business, fear of not being able to pay out the franchise fees, and fear of being judged as a failure. So that's about the third time that I've been stuck in a situation like that. So when the franchise actually forced me to make a decision, I was feeling all of the pain that I'd been trying to avoid anyway. So the lesson for me the lesson that I learned was whether you put things off or not, if you're trying to avoid pain, you're going to feel them anyway. So you might as well feel the pain and learn the lesson early on before it gets too bad.
Yeah, that's a good learning, isn't it?
It was a very big learning.
Yeah, and thanks for sharing that. Like, I really appreciate that. And
That's right.
how about you?
Yeah, live and learn, hey? So what I've learned about procrastination is that I've looked it up actually on Wikipedia, for example, and looked at some insights into it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, that makes complete sense. And it's, they talk about, coping, being able to cope with challenging emotions and negative moods that are induced by certain tasks. So for me, I remember studying during university and during school, and I found that I would procrastinate. So I would eat a lot of food, and and that was my way of dealing with the frustration, the stress that I was going through. And I remember at the time even developing an eating disorder called bulimia, where you would eat a lot of food and then throw it up. And so basically I was able to overcome that through, dealing with the eating disorder. So, but what happened there was that, I wasn't dealing with the emotions that were coming up, and each time I felt stressed, my trigger was to go eat something and overeat to the point of numbing myself. And I see that a lot with clients. There's like binge eating, that's another eating disorder. But a lot of clients go through that. And personally, I've definitely gone through procrastination in my earlier days. And even today, sometimes with business, I find myself stuck, wanting to avoid doing things that I know I should do. Like running a business, we need to do the financials, and I just hated that so much. And I still find myself learning about the things that I want to avoid and having to work through them.
Yeah. They're both really powerful examples, aren't they? I think for me, the thing that comes into mind is, procrastination and being stuck, they're actually different. And so when we procrastinate, it's usually because we might know where we're heading. We might know what the big goal is. We just, it's too big.
Yeah.
And we get stuck in our comfort zone. So procrastination is a way of keeping things the same. It's a way of controlling what you can control. It's a way of, so that you're not challenging yourself and you're not stepping out of your comfort zone. And so, I know, and I know because I work with a lot of business people and a lot of entrepreneurs and leaders. And often when we have a really big goal, a really big objective, what happens is we'll start procrastinating and it's not because we don't know what needs to happen. It's not because logically we don't know the steps. It's because it's out of our comfort zone, or it's beyond our identity. It's beyond our belief system of what we believe we can achieve. And so, I know when I started my coaching and started building the business, my procrastination's wiping the kitchen bench. I would be in absolute flow, and I'd have flow charts and whiteboards and be building programs and building content. And then the next minute I'm like, oh, I'm thirsty, go and have a drink. And then I'm wiping the kitchen bench. 20 minutes later, I'm in the kitchen still. I'm like, get back in the study. And how many times there's a room that you want to clean, like your garage. I've got clients that need to clean out their garage or need to clean out their spare room, and they just don't. It's because it's bigger than what they think it's going to be. And so they procrastinate because it takes them outside of their comfort zone. They don't want to address what's there. And then being stuck. Well, I know a few years ago, I was stuck in my job. So I'd accepted a role because I was a single parent and I needed income, but I didn't want stress. But what happened was over time, I got really bored. I got stuck. I'd kind of reached as high as I could go in that particular role, and I just wasn't going anywhere. So I started getting frustrated, like I was stuck, and being stuck is about not having choices. So it's about like not knowing the goal, not knowing the pathway. And, like people who want to lose weight, they might want to lose weight. I have clients that come to me because they want to lose weight and they've been in the same pattern for years, but they don't know how to break out of that pattern because either their belief system doesn't support it or the steps aren't small enough to help them get there. So that's sort of a little bit, they're probably my two biggest challenges. And I just want to comment as well for anyone watching to please ask us questions. We love questions. So you can drop them in the comments. Wherever we post this, we are posting it on multiple platforms. So drop us an emoji. Please like it. Please share it if you get value out of it. Let your friends know it exists. Our goal here is to sort of give people as much value as we can by coming together and sharing, our expertise and our experience of working with people. So, yeah, and any questions down below, we'll come through and check them and endeavour to answer them for you. So now that we've sort of talked a little bit about what procrastination is, I think it would be useful for us to sort of share any tips, ideas or strategies about how to deal with it. What do you reckon?
Definitely.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So Kaz, did you want to kick us off?
Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the biggest things I would like people to take away is that don't ever be too afraid to ask for help. So often, as you say, you can't eat the elephant in one bite. So if you can't see the smaller chunks to eat, so to speak, if you can't break your problem down into smaller pieces, go find someone who can. So whether that's a coach or a healer or the bank or a builder or a doctor, you might be feeling unwell, you might have physical symptoms, you don't know what it is, it's overwhelming. Go find someone who is a professional or someone who has experience with that kind of problem and talk to them. Allow them to help you break your problem down, and then bit by bit you'll be able to work through it. So I guess the lesson is learn to face your obstacles and to accept that sometimes you can't do it alone. So it's okay to ask for help. We all need help sometimes.
Yeah, I love that. And I love the, I'd forgotten about that one. Actually, that was one of the first coaching tips that I learned. How do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. I love it. Yeah. Did you have anything else you wanted to share, Kaz?
Oh, look, I really think it's important for people to ask themselves what they're thinking and what you're thinking that's bringing on those feelings of being stuck. And then once you bring these thoughts into your awareness, you can start to question them and reframe them and start saying, okay, well, maybe I could do this. Make it a more empowering thought and ask yourself, what's the worst possible consequence? If I do this thing that I'm so scared of, what's the worst possible consequence? And can you live with that? Because, I thought the worst possible consequence, I didn't even think, when my business was going crazy and I thought I was going to lose my home and everything, I created this whole big thing like that was the end of the world. But, after going to the accountant and talking to him, it wasn't the end of the world. Yep. My ego was bruised and we were sad for a little while and we had to sacrifice some things, but we're alive and we're healthy. We have a beautiful family and everything's going to be okay. So I would love people to just remember everything's going to be okay. Just step back, take a breath, find some assistance if you can't do it yourself, and everything's going to be okay.
Yeah, I love that. Love that. And how about you, Alia?
Yeah, I love that, Kaz. Yeah, that's so powerful because a lot of the time we just don't, we make excuses to find support and we think we can do it on our own. And sometimes we just get stuck in this vicious cycle. And so what I would recommend, what I do with clients is as a health coach and nutritionist, I find them really stuck with the yo-yo dieting thing and going to the cupboard or fridge and looking for processed foods, sweet things, savory things, even when they're not hungry. And, they find that they just don't know the reason why. And, a lot of the time there is deeper cause to that. And so, so what I get my clients to do is to, first of all, they really do need to own it. So whether it's binge eating, when we're overeating, when we're physically not hungry, or we're stress eating or boredom eating, whatever you want to call it, that's a way of sometimes procrastinating. We want to avoid doing the extra work that we know we need to do. We want to avoid learning about something. We just want to, get things done and be perfect at it. But the reality is it's a learning lessons sometimes, and we have to be patient with ourselves. And the first step to overcoming the procrastination, the overeating, for example, is just to own it, is to notice that, yes, I am overeating, and I've been doing this for years, and it's maybe once a day, but it's causing me to gain the weight. It's not helping with, my diabetes or cholesterol medication, whatever it is. So number one is own it, and then change your belief. Like, good health is available to you. You are enough. You have what it takes to change. You have a choice. When you feel frustrated, when you feel stressed, when you feel like, I just don't want to do this task anymore, that's normal. That's a fine feeling to have, but own it and start changing the way you feel and think. And like Kaz said, like, you can do that with a professional. You can really change the code in your head and so many habits through learning to own it and then change it with the belief systems and thoughts.
Yeah, 100%. I think that the power to change beliefs is like, I'm a mindset coach, so that power to change your beliefs is the strongest thing that you can do. And challenging your clients, or challenging yourself to just actually really consider your beliefs. Like, is it true? Is it serving you? Is it nurturing you? Like, what are you telling yourself? Would you tell your best friend that? And if it's not, piss it off. Like, honestly, I hope that's okay for me to say that. Sorry. Like, let it go. And what can you replace it with? Like, what does serve you? What is true? What's going to help you get to your goals? So yeah, I love that, Alia.
Yeah, I love what you're saying there. So, in terms of beliefs, what can people do straight away? Like, if they have a belief that, I don't know, like, they feel like they can't stop eating.
Yeah, so it's put it through that filter. So it's the filter I use with my clients. I have activities around beliefs. So first identifying what you're telling yourself. So this is the stuff that you don't, often it's unconscious, like we don't realize we're doing it. But it's like, what are you telling yourself? What are the excuses that you're using? How is this okay? Because often we're in blame and denial, and there's excuses and stuff. So, but the lens is exactly that. Is it true? So even write it on paper and then test it. Is it true? Is it nurturing you? Is it serving you? And is it supporting you? And if it's not, get rid of it. Seriously, get rid of it. And what can you say instead? I have the power to be healthy. I have the power to eat less. This is in my control. I can do this. Whatever it happens to be. And just make statements, new statements, and just repeat them that you believe to be true, that are going to actually help you, that are serving you, nurturing you, supporting you. Yeah.
Yeah.
So was there anything else, Alia, that you wanted to add?
No, just those two things, and what you girls are saying, that's just so powerful. They're just such easy steps and thoughts.
This is a topic that I love, and honestly, this short chat just isn't long enough for me to go into the depth that I'd love to go into in this topic, because I've done a lot of research and workshops and stuff around procrastination and being stuck. And firstly, Kaz, you were talking about there's a book, you were talking about that fear. There's a book called Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway, which is it's on my bookshelf.
Yeah, I've got it.
Yeah, Susan Jeffries.
Yep.
So I encourage anybody that's really stuck in their comfort zone and not growing to embrace that book. It's a beautiful book, Feel the Fear and Do It Anyway. If you're not a big reader, you can buy an abridged version. I think mine was $4.50, and it's just a little... it's the short version of it. So that's a really good resource. I think the main thing is to actually recognize, like I said earlier, procrastination and being stuck are actually different. They're different, and what drives them is different. So being stuck is about actually not knowing, like not knowing what to do. Like you actually don't know. So if you're feeling stuck, then I'd really encourage you to be looking for choices. What choices do you have right now? And just getting clarity around your goals. So the more you can sort of brainstorm, well, I'm stuck. I know I don't want where I am, but what do you want? Like, what do you want? And what are some choices that you do have right now? This is where coaching is really powerful, and working with people like us. You know, often people, we go through so much stuff, and I didn't mention earlier, but we are all self-directed healers. We're all practitioners. And so we work with the energy, we work with emotions, and a lot of trapped emotions can be inside us, and that can cause us to be stuck. So sometimes we just need to clear out the blockages, clear out the beliefs, clear out the things that's keeping us stuck, and then get some clarity around where it is we want to go, and that will just start us moving again. So that's sort of being stuck. On the procrastination side, procrastination is about fear. It's about being uncomfortable, moving out of our comfort zone. So you might be stuck in a relationship that's not healthy. You might be stuck in a job that you're not happy in, but you don't move. And you don't move because it's, you know, rather the devil you know than the devil you don't know. So people tend to stay in situations that aren't making them happy, even though they know it's not making them happy. And so you procrastinate and you make up excuses. And because moving out of your comfort zone, it takes energy. We're neurologically wired to resist change. So we don't want to change sometimes. Or it just might be, you know, stretching us, because growing is not a natural thing to do, but all successful people grow. All successful people move out of their comfort zone. So if you're procrastinating, you need action. Like, it really is that simple. And as Kaz said, you know, how do you eat an elephant? One bite at a time. So the more you procrastinate, the smaller the steps. So really pull it back, and just what's something you can do today. And it might just be 10 minutes, or it might just be 15 minutes. So little actions to expand that comfort zone, to expand your comfort level. Another thing is often we don't have time. So do you agree? So time can be really challenging, but you look at Bob Gates, how many companies has he got? And he's still at home at 6 o'clock having dinner with his family, and he has time. So time is just an excuse that we can fall into because we're not productively using our time. And so as a results coach, I have a lot of strategies around using your time more effectively. Don't have time to get into it today, but I'll share a couple with you. One is, what can you do less of? What can you stop doing? So can you stop chatting on the phone all the time? Can you stop checking your mobile phone? Can you stop spending so much time on social media or in front of Netflix or cleaning the kitchen? Or, you know, what can you actually pull back on and do less of? Because that then frees up time for what you do want. And then it's like, what do I want to spend more time on? And what you want to spend more time on is the goal. So this is about getting really clear and a bit more discipline and focus with your time. So what are you going to stop doing? What do you want to start, and fill it up with what you want to start doing? So that's kind of a simple strategy that I use as well. So it's taking time from here and putting it there. But it's still also really important in procrastination to be clear about your goal, because the more clear you are about your goal, the more emotions you can clear out and beliefs along the way, the easier it is to take those steps. Once you start taking those steps, what happens is your confidence will grow and your self-esteem will grow. And as your confidence and your self-esteem grows, you grow as a person. And so it becomes easier to take those steps that you've been putting off. So I trust that's of value. Did that all make sense? I kind of just went,
that was awesome.
Great. All right. Did anyone else have anything else they wanted to share before I move on?
No.
Great.
Yes,
right.
so I love what you said about being stuck. I just think it'll be a good idea to talk about how self-directed healing can actually help with that, because I think a lot of people don't quite understand how that can help out. And you know, it's done wonders in my life, and that's why I'm a self-directed healer, just like yourselves, ladies. And it really helps to, you know, we've got the conscious mind and the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is so much bigger than the conscious mind, and it's so powerful, and we can actually help you tap into it. So we help our clients tap into the subconscious mind and finally release that feeling of feeling stuck. Like the answers come into play. It's amazing. Every session I've personally had, it's been really liberating for the client, because they've been able to talk to their inner child. So they've been able to go back in time and understand why they did certain things, what they were feeling. It's just such a huge self-development help, and it's very liberating, and it's very exciting. So, I just thought I'd put that out there, because,
I love that.
it's just part of helping people achieve so much more and get out of that cycle.
Yeah, it's so incredibly powerful, because the work that we do in that self-directed healing space, like we are working with limiting beliefs. So we don't work just with emotional pain and emotional energy. We work with those beliefs that are keeping you stuck, because in the session, what we do is we draw them out and we use them, and you can sit with them and we energetically shift them through your body and really challenge them. Like, is it true? This is what we do. We go through that process. So it's a really good way to fast track if you're stuck or if you're procrastinating. Yeah, energetic healing, self-directed healing, coaching, this is all stuff that's going to help you get to your goal faster.
Yeah.
So I think, the world's getting a lot more aware of how much coaching can help people and how fast it is as a methodology to shift thinking and shift where you are. And the other thing is we spend so much money on our house and our car and trips and not that we're traveling at the moment, but on the stuff. But how often do we invest in ourselves? And yet we are the most important investment we could ever make, because if we're not functioning, like if you think of servicing your car, when was the last time you serviced yourself? Like, you can get a checkup at the doctor, but what about emotionally? What about mentally? What about what you're thinking and feeling and how productive you're being? So to me, coaching is the most valuable thing that anybody can do, because it really fast tracks your life to help you find that meaning and purpose and passion and empowerment and confidence and freedom that
priceless investment.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So thanks. I love these sessions, and I hope everyone watching them is loving them as well. So we are all self-directed healing practitioners. As I said, we're all happy to offer free discovery sessions. So that's a 30-minute call where you can actually come and talk to any of us individually, and we can talk about, is healing a match for you, or our coaching a match, and potentially we might work together in the future, but there's no obligation. This is just an opportunity to check in with us and see if it's something that might help you to move forward and to get you living more purposefully and meaningfully. So just to introduce everyone again, so Alia Steglinsky, thank you so much. And Alia, as I said earlier, is a personal health coach, and you will find her at Personal Health Coach is how you find her. Kaz Sanderman, Chaos to Calm Healing. And Kaz, we find you at Chaos to Calm Healing, is that correct? Yep. And I'm Christy Roberts, and you will find me at Christy Roberts Coaching, you'll find me. So our contact details will be on here. But thank you so much. Is there anything, ladies, that you wanted to share, anything that you're working on at the moment that you think might be of interest to anyone listening? So Alia first.
Sure. Yeah, I've got an audio. It's called a Positive Lifestyle Mindset audio, and I've personally recorded mindfulness suggestions, so positive affirmations to do with exercise, to do with nutrition. A lot of the time we get stuck on old beliefs like I hate exercise, I don't have time, etc. And life is too short. Like there's got to be some positive language in there. So I've got an audio that is sent out to your phone for 15 days. And it's part of a program that can really help, that helps clients to lose weight naturally and in a more healthy, sustainable way. So that's available at my website at personalhealthcoach.com.au.
Awesome. Thank you. And Kaz?
Oh, look, at the moment I am doing a 60-day positive mindset reframe. So that's on my Facebook page, Chaos to Calm Healing. And we're on day 10 tomorrow. So if you'd like to come and join in, that's just a way for you to create that positive habit of having a positive mindset every day. So feel free to join us.
Is that at a certain time, Kaz?
7:30 every morning, every weekday, and then 9 a.m. on weekends.
I love it. Good on you. Yeah, so I'm building a program at the moment called Living with Passion and Purpose, and it's my goal to have this as an online program to complement the one-on-one coaching that I'm doing. So yeah, look me up. I'm on Facebook, Christy Roberts Creating Change, and yeah, would love to connect with you. So lady, it's just been awesome holding this space with you again. I'm loving these sessions, and thank you all so much for your words of wisdom. I hope that that helps some of you out there from, you know, just to move forward and not be stuck and not be procrastinating, or actually start noticing if you are procrastinating and calling yourself out on it. So that's all from us today, and really look forward to seeing you all again, and everyone have an amazing day. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Christy.
You're welcome.